Guys, to be honest, I couldn't think of an intro for this video tonight, so let's just get right into it. Welcome back, guys, and no, this is not a Baldur's Gate 3 video. I've been so captivated by that game for this past week that I had to slap myself and tell myself that this is also a general gaming news channel. There's a lot of upcoming games to still talk about. And today I have a game that it seems like many people have not heard of, a game called Outriders. So yeah, if you guys do end up enjoying this video, please subscribe. I cover a lot of different gaming stuff on this channel. Let's talk Outriders. So Outriders is a third-person RPG sci-fi looter shooter game. There's going to be exploration to be had, missions to complete, loot to collect, and bosses to kill. At first glance of the game, most people scream, you guessed it, Gears of War, and yeah, it definitely has some similarities in the general gameplay, but the catch here is that Outriders is filled with a bunch of magical abilities that you can unleash. Before we get too much into the gameplay, let's talk about some of the things and questions you might have that you want answered first, such as when and what can Outriders be played on, is there multiplayer, and who the hell is making this game. Later in the video, we'll also talk about the classes available in the game. So Outriders is being developed by a Polish company called People Can Fly and published by Square Enix. People Can Fly is a company most well known for Bulletstorm and Gears of War Judgment and an older popular game called Painkiller. They are considered a AAA company in Poland. I don't know if they are only considered AAA compared to other Polish companies, or are they a worldwide AAA? I don't know how that works, but let's just say they don't lack in experience or budget, which is good. So when and what is Outriders releasing on? The projected release date right now is September-ish of 2020, and yeah, that's later this year, guys. I got good news for anyone who is already excited for this game. It will be coming out basically on everything. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Microsoft Windows via the Steam store. So basically everyone has been included because we don't really care about those Stadia players. Just kidding, I'm just kidding. So yeah, that's really cool, guys. It looks like they will be releasing it before the new consoles drop. So if you're not purchasing the next gen right away, no worries, you can still indulge in this game. The next very important thing for people to know is that the game will feature multiplayer, specifically a drop-in, drop-out co-op for 1 to 3 players. You can play alone or start up with 2 of your buddies, or you can start alone and have your buddies drop in halfway through your mission. Sounds pretty cool. I know many people who don't like to play solo games at all, so don't worry, you can play it in a group of up to 3. Alright, now let's answer perhaps the most important question of all. What the hell do you do in this game? What's the point of playing? Well, firstly, is that a word? Is the campaign story, which is fully voiced. As you go through the story, you unlock new areas and of course get better loot. Like I said before, your friends can join you as you get immersed within the world, and hopefully the story is interesting enough to keep everyone around. There will be a hub area, or areas, I guess you could say similar to the tower in Destiny, where you can buy and sell things and also pick up things like side quests. So apart from the main story campaign, there are side quests, but also there are mini bosses that offer their own rewards as well as world objectives. The game is not open world, guys. It's more so like different instances that you go into, and as you play you unlock new areas which are new instances. So what happens after you beat the campaign and have done a lot of the side quests, etc.? This is where the world tiers come into play. A world tier is essentially a way of playing the game on a harder and harder difficulty, offering new and better loot with each tier. We have seen up to 15 world tiers available so far from the gameplay. As the tiers go up, the extremely rare items become easier to come across. The easy way of saying it is you get better shit. How difficult the game will become as you get higher into the tiers will be interesting to see. One of the things that I despise in games is when they are way too easy and don't offer any true challenges. I'm hoping that if I do end up playing this game, that in the later tiers it starts to require a lot of skill and practice and teamwork to be able to succeed. I want to earn my loot and feel accomplished instead of just going through the motions. You will be replaying the story, side quests, mini bosses, and world objectives like you did on your first playthrough. This worries me a little bit for games that are too repetitive. I usually don't last too long in, but this is also a looter shooter, so I guess it also depends on how enticing the loot is at the higher tiers and if it's worth the grind to get the stuff. I do enjoy looter games, but usually ones that offer a variety of other things on top of replaying the game on a harder level, like PvP or horde modes, etc. So I will be watching this game closely to see what else we might find out as time goes on. But I do have bad news for the people that only play games with PvP as an option. There is no PvP planned in this game right now. It is all PvE focused. I personally am okay with a PvE only game as long as they're done right, and like I said, the replayability offers good challenges and variety. No PvP could be a good thing though, for at least we know that they are 100% focused on hopefully making PvE the best that it can be. There will be big boss fights in this game with different stages. I do love hearing that. Good boss fights in games offer memories that do not go away. I still remember killing specific bosses from various games from over 10-15 years ago. Hopefully People Can Fly will add to my fond memories collection. So Outriders will feature 4 unique classes to choose from, 3 of which we know and have seen. The Pyromancer, which is a medium range combat style who obviously use fire. The Trickster, which is like a rogue. You get in, do some stuff, then get the hell out. And then the Devastator, which is the close range tank type guy. The 4th class we do not know yet, it shall be a surprise. So the Pyromancer does things such as summoning waves of fire and releasing explosive barrages. The Trickster's got abilities that can manipulate time and slow things down, and then they can slash out with a powerful magical blade. And I think I also saw some type of teleport type ability. The Trickster definitely looks like a class that I want to try out. The Devastator is all about that brute force and defense. He has abilities like slamming the ground and releasing shockwaves that knock the enemies back, and he has a lot of damage reduction abilities that allow him to push up and take all the damage. So from what we know right now, each of the 4 classes will have around 8 special skills to unlock, and they will be able to use 3 of those skills at a time. There will be passive skill trees for each class, and they look fairly large and detailed. These passive trees do seem to have different branches that will allow you to focus more on a branch that fits your playstyle. For example, maybe you play the Pyromancer and you want everything to be focused into your damage, but enemies can basically one-shot you, or maybe you want to have more survivability with the Pyromancer. Stuff like that will probably be in the passive trees. Now, we were told that combining your skills with other classes will be a thing, and it will be a huge help in some situations, especially later in the game. It's pretty cool. So like I said earlier, it's a looter shooter. There will be a ton of loot to collect, various weapons with different rarities, armor with an assortment of stats and traits, really the classic things that you tried to get in looter games. We even saw a picture of some sort of vehicle that was customizable with different wheels and vehicle bodies. I don't know what that is all about, but it sounds cool. Some of the weapons in this game will carry special skills along with them, such as guns with bullets that slow down the enemy or freeze them, or shots that create AoE damage, etc. It definitely looks like a lot went into the creation of having a variety of things going on and choices to make. So the story will be a big part of the game and its replayability. So here's a quick idea of what's going on in this game. So humans have traveled to a large planet called Enoch in search for a new home, and when they arrived, they started receiving a mysterious signal. When they went investigating the signal, they ended up unleashing an anomaly, a massive storm that spawns a shit ton of horrible creatures, destroys technology, and while there's actually something good about it, it gives humans magical, mysterious powers. And yeah, magical powers make for an interesting game. Now, there's only certain people who can harness the anomaly's powers, and they are called, you guessed it, Outriders. And yes, you guessed it again, we will be an Outrider. So yeah, guys, overall, my opinion, this game doesn't look bad. The visuals are pretty nice, nothing insanely crazy looking, and the animations at times are maybe a little off, but nothing that would really prevent me from playing it. The gunplay looks decent from the videos I've seen. The main thing that worries me though is the end game and replayability. I like the world tiers thing, but if it's just the exact same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and it ends up just becoming a numbers game of trying to get a weapon with +2, and then the next world tier you're trying to get the same exact weapon at +4, it might get boring kind of fast. But we will stay positive for now. We can't judge the game too hard before we have even played it. It could end up being a really cool game. In my opinion, it definitely is worth at least keeping an eye on it for now. So once I stop talking here, guys, in a couple seconds after the outro is over, I'll leave you guys with a little bit of gameplay without me talking, so you can kind of hear the sounds of the game as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I promise my next video will have a better intro. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It's a huge help to my video and my channel. I really appreciate it. I do all sorts of gaming content on this channel, ranging from comedy videos to live streams to tutorials to product reviews to game reviews, and I'd love to see some of you guys on a future video. Until next time, Wolfpack.